All right. Yo, what's good? So, real quick, just to get in a nutshell, I'm a little late to this. I saw this video that said Sneako got annihilated. Um, and I just pulled it up. Let me just get right into it, bro, and just react to this shit. Because a lot of these, like this Destiny dude and XQC, there's just something off about these dudes. But either way, let's get into this thing right here.
To Sneako fans that maybe they should okay, if what just happened today isn't a wake-up call to Sneako fans that maybe they should self-evaluate and reconsider whether they want to support this guy. The woman! What? I do not know what will be, okay? Sneako was in a debate today that I think without a shadow of a doubt was his worst performance in not only any debate, but any beef, conversation, interaction that he's ever had. Dude, if he said what he said today back in 2022 when his career was at an all-time high, dude, he would have lost everything overnight. I think his channel would have been evaporated, Thanos snapped off the platform, and within a week he'd be jiggling an empty cup for coins outside of a Waffle House. So Destiny was streaming today and Sneako ended up joining the Discord call, and things obviously got really messy as they tend to with Sneako. There were two other creators in this call, XQC and Cuff'em. I'm pretty uninterested in the majority of the conversation and it's not worth talking about, it's unimportant. What matters is the conversation that Sneako had with Destiny and XQC about pedophilia. Afterward, we'll talk about some other clips from this stream and how absurd Sneako sounds in some of them, but this is actually insane. So Destiny asks Sneako a very simple question. What does he think the age of consent should be? Now, if you're the kind of person that hears that and thinks it's a trick question, I need to know why. What about that is a trick question? What about that is a trap question? If you think that question is designed to make somebody look bad, then you probably just look bad and that question is gonna bring it out of you. Because I feel like some Sneako fans would say like, oh, that's a trick question, bro. He's trying to make you seem like a pedo. But if you are worried about sounding like a pedo, when the question is like, what do you think the age of consent should be? Maybe that's because the response you're gonna give is way too young to not seem like a pedo. Anyway, here's the clip. Just so you know, I'm gonna jump in a few times to criticize Sneako, so get ready for that. And before I do that, be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. We are on the road to 500,000 subscribers.
So basically, this thing is revolving all the way back to, the Prophet Muhammad and Aisha. That's what it always comes back to, but let's go.
So, come get in on the action.
Here's an easy question. What do you think the age of consent should be, Sneako?
This is not an important conversation.
No, you don't think kids are not as an important conversation? What do you think the age of consent should be? If you want to be consistent, you don't think anything updates, just tell us what you think it should be.
Okay, so right off the bat, he goes, I don't think this is an important conversation. I would argue it's actually one of the most important conversations of all time and has always been. You know, it's actually so funny too because Sneako is the kind of person who has historically been very vocal on issues regarding LGBT representation in children's media, and I happen to think that some of the stuff that he says when it comes to that issue is a valid concern. I think the age at which children are introduced to topics such as sexual orientation, sexuality, all that sort of stuff, I think that should take place in like 6th or 7th grade, you know, when people start to hit puberty and their bodies are changing. That's a good time to talk about this sort of stuff. Now, the reason a lot of people hold this view is because they believe in protecting the innocence of children. Now, whether you agree with that or not, if you think that it should be in elementary school and not middle school, whatever, I think the point is, if you believe in the idea of, you know, not telling kids about sexual topics up until a certain point, I don't think it really should be hard at all to say, yeah, oh, and the age of consent should still be 18, obviously. Like, seriously, how the fuck can one of the core tenets of your belief system be that children are at risk from social media and the woke mind virus and indoctrination, but you can't easily say, yeah, I think the age of consent should be 18. I think if you're a minor, you should not be able to consent to intercourse. I mean, I always knew that Sneako was sus on this topic because of his defense of cuties, but I did not think that it was as bad as it's about to get, so strap in.
What do you think the age of consent should be? If you want to be consistent, you don't think anything updates, just tell us what you think it should be.
I think it should be past at a developed age.
What is a developed age? If you had to set a law for it, what would you set it? What would you set it about?
It's a developed age.
No, answer the question, you fucking pussy. Holy shit, you're such a cowardly fuck. Stand up for what you believe in. If you actually are fucking Muslim, you're actually Islamic or whatever, then stand up for your fucking beliefs. Every other Muslim scholar online will do this. Do it. Stand tall on it. Don't act like a little pussy in here trying to grill fucking XQC on.
Hold up. First of all, this guy gets on my fucking nerves, bro. Not every Muslim scholar will do that and will say that. You know, it's like the age of consent. Because I'm in New Jersey, age of consent at last I checked was I think either 15 or 16 or something like that, right? In California, I think it's something different. I think somewhere in the South, this shit might be like 14. It's all, each state is so fucking different. Just like, I remember I saw a video where Muhammad Ajab was speaking with Sneako, and he explained that you could be a Muslim and not believe that the Prophet married Aisha at 9 or whatever. But because it's not mentioned in the Quran, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's mentioned in the Quran, but I believe Aisha mentioned it in Hadith or something like that. I'm not Muslim, but I just don't understand how these guys are beating around the bush talking about 18, because that's what I've been hearing. 18, I guarantee in these states that they're living in, and I think XQC's from Canada. I don't know what that's about, but I don't know where Destiny's from. But age of consent is probably around anywhere from 16 to 18. Well, depending in the South, it's 14 to 18. So I don't know. I need to look that up though, but I know it varies.
On modern meta ethics or whatever, if you won't even answer basic questions about your worldview, what should the age of consent be?
So Destiny cooks him, rightfully so. I'm glad he did that, laying him flat on the grill to cook evenly on both sides at a nice medium rare temperature. And I think it's like, why not just give a number? Like, I don't even understand. Like, yeah, just say 18. Just say 18, even if that's not what you believe. Literally, why would you not say 18? This to me, and this was always the case, you know, when Vosh got exposed for having, you know, on his hard drive that cheese pizza, I was the kind of person who was like, yeah, I kind of expected this, because Vosh is somebody who often debates about what the age of consent should be and why. And to me, I feel like if you spend your time debating...
I agree, by the way. I believe the age of consent should be either 17 or 18, something like that. I would never, don't get started, I would never deal with no one that's not old enough to like drink, you know, but that's just me. But the fact that you could tell they're just beating this is what they always do. They beat up on the fact that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, married Aisha at a young age, which is not even truly confirmed that it was. I mean, I don't know. I have to look, and I'm not a scholar, bro, but I've dug deep a little bit. Like, I've dug into it a little bit. And there's also some different stuff that's also similar in the Bible. I'm not even going to get into that right now.
What the age of consent should be, that must feel like an issue you think is so important. So if you think it's really important, it probably pertains to your life in some way. The things that affect us most in our day-to-day lives are the things that we care about the most. I drink energy drinks. If the FDA was to ban energy drinks, I would personally be vocal against it. I would say, hey, that's not good. And I would assume that most people who would be vocal against it are people who also drink energy drinks. So if you're one of these grown-ass men who debates and you're saying, hey, we should lower the age of consent, or I think we should revisit that, why? Literally why? I feel like you must have some sort of stake in it. Because it's also the sort of thing where it's not even on the political ballot. So when November comes around and it's election day and we're voting on a candidate, just so you know, the issue of lowering the age of consent, it's not on the agenda. Yeah, I'm sorry to get sidetracked, but yeah, Sneako is such a contrarian that he's no longer even consistent. He wants to be a contrarian, so he's anti-LGBT, but he also wants to be a contrarian, so he's pro not having the age of consent be 18.
What should the age of consent be?
Do you see how?
Oh, you see how you want to answer the question? You see how he's going to yap and not answer the question? I'm going to ask the same thing when you're done. Go ahead.
I just answered the question.
What was the age?
I just told you at a developed age.
Sneako thinks you should be able to 9-year-olds. That's what Sneako thinks, and he won't answer that.
That's him just fucking projecting, bro, on the Aisha thing, bro. Now I guess I'll just nip this in the butt too. I don't even know if Destiny probably does know about this, but there's varying accounts of Rebecca marrying Isaac. It's like it's between like either 3 and maybe like 13, but there's accounts of her marrying Isaac at 3. There's also accounts of Aisha getting married to the Prophet Muhammad at around, I don't know, 14 or 15, something like that. Now, I understand Aisha, I think, said that she was 9, but still, I've heard, you know, some different, not scholars, but different Muslims talk and say that, you know, maybe she didn't fully understand the time and whatever. But, that's just throw that out there.
that question honestly. Or he's going to have to give a different answer, in which case he's updated his morality. He's updated his views. And that's really uncomfortable for him. You don't have an answer to any of this shit, bro. Go back to fucking that fucking corner in London where you're getting roasted by year one debaters on fucking Christianity. This is retarded. I don't know what the fuck you're doing in here.
I don't know how he's asked at what age should people...
I will say that too, Sneako. You got to do better going to Speaker's Corner, bro. You can't go to Speaker's Corner and just start folding like that, bro. And I like you, but that was crazy. I mean, you knew what you were getting into. You knew that's what they do, but man.
will be able to consent? And he goes, well, at a developed age, brother, a number, an age is a number. An age is not, oh, it's a state of proper development. No, it's a number. You can quantify age in years, not at, a relative amount of development they've had. And again, I don't know why he just doesn't say 18. Like, he has 6,000 or 7,000 people that watch him over on Rumble. I would say, like, less than 1% of people out there are cool with someone saying, yeah, the age of consent should be lowered. Like, this is the sort of thing where it's like, regardless of your politics and how your audience feels about certain things, this is that one issue that you can look at everybody, regardless of their background, politics, whatever, and you say, hey, well, at least we can all agree that we shouldn't support pedophilia, or we shouldn't be lowering the age of consent. Anyway, so in that clip, obviously, Destiny completely obliterates him, annihilates him. He's left in smithereens, and deservingly so. But I want to check out a few more clips from this stream that happened today, because it was absolutely insane.
Right, no, but being gay is a choice. That's a decision.
Literally, there's no place in the world where it's been discovered how to change somebody's sexuality like that. It just doesn't happen.
You want to know how to not do that? Is just don't
the way this guy talks
as a man.
Right, but that doesn't do anything. It doesn't erase the desire. If I'm attracted to girls, me not kissing them isn't going to make me not attracted to them. Guys who get no play are still attracted to women, they just get no play. Like, if you're gay and you get no play, you're still gay. Not doing the thing that you want to do doesn't make you not wanting to do it.
Do you just not have relationships anymore, or?
No, you could have a relationship, but with the correct sex.
Yeah, but if you don't have any sexual attraction towards them, why would you do that?
That's the wrong feeling. That's just an incorrect.
When you say the wrong feeling, what? According to who?
The same reason you tell pedophile that they should stop being attracted to kids. It's like you should have a morality about
Hold on.
that.
Why do you think pedophilia is wrong?
No. Answer. It's a good question.
Yeah,
answer.
I need to make sure you have any idea.
You
Yeah,
la-
tell me.
you
No,
laugh,
wait,
but
make
you
him answer. Yeah,
don't-
don't bail him out. Make him answer. Why is pedophilia wrong, Sneako?
Yeah.
Because it's not how a relationship. Because God says it's wrong.
That's
No.
that's
Keep
the
going.
reason why. Hold on, wait.
Oh,
So
okay.
Sneako, no,
God
wait.
says
This
it's
is so
wrong.
easy. So then Sneako. So if God tells you that you can kids like he did with Muhammad or whatever, you think that's okay then? That you would change your mind on that tomorrow?
That's not what happened.
No. I'm asking you. If God tells you, Sneako,
Isn't he
I think
Christian?
it is okay, then you would change your mind on it tomorrow.
There has to be a justification for everything.
Oh, hold
for
on.
everything
God
that
has
we
to
do.
didn't say it,
justify
though.
himself? God has to justify it? If you're talking about the need for a justification, then that means something's not good because God says it. It's only good because he's giving you whatever the justification is. So God saying things doesn't mean anything then. So you're just wrong on that. So then what's the justification then for why pedophilia is bad?
Because it's not. Kids cannot consent.
There
Kids are
you
not
go.
able to make a
Good job.
decision.
Yep, you got there. Good job.
It really should not have been this hard for him to say something that he said so many times when regarding children having puberty blockers or HRT. When it comes to that, he'll easily say kids cannot consent, right? But on this issue, for some reason, when talking about what the age of consent should be and why P3dophilia should not be normalized and is just bad in general, he's having a rough time, and I don't even know why. Like, Sneako literally never has brought up that God says it's wrong as his justification for why children should not be on HRT or why they shouldn't go to pride parades or something like that. Obviously, he believes that, but it's never been his main go-to argument because it's really not the best argument. When you're arguing against a position where the people who hold that position aren't even close to being religious, using a religious argument against them isn't going to do anything. If I don't believe in math, you can't use math to prove a point to me.
No, I'm saying that the reason that XQC draws a line there, it's not because of this morality thing. Because nobody wants to be fat. Nobody wants to be broke.
Nobody wants to be a Muslim? Why do they get so offended when you make fun of them for it?
That's not. That's has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Like,
That's
people don't
exactly.
get
You said
offended.
that people get offended for being gay because they're ashamed to be gay. So I'm
Destiny,
asking you, then,
okay,
do
you
people
see
get
it-
offended by being called
Let me-
Muslim
let me
because they're
explain
Muslims?
the
Are they
way he
ashamed of
debates
being
here.
Muslims?
The way he debates Cuffham is he's going to equate being Muslim to being gay. Nobody gets offended if a blue-haired Destiny calls me a Muslim. Nobody's offended, right? If I call somebody gay and you're not gay, they'll get offended because nobody wants to be gay.
They're not offended. They don't want to be around people that are hateful. They're upset because you're being hateful towards them. The same way that Muslims get offended when you talk.
It's not true, bro. If you're not gay and someone calls you gay, you're offended because they're calling you gay, because no one does want to be gay. If you're not gay, a straight individual, well, this goes for men, really. It's not the women, is different because they don't really give a fuck about that shit. But if you call a straight man gay and he's not gay, he's not going to be offended because he thinks you're fucking hateful. Like this guy Destiny's an idiot. He's going to be offended because you're calling him fucking gay. Straight men do not want to be labeled as gay. They see it as much as they might want to conform and try to act like, you know, oh, now you got some of them saying, oh, you know, I'm an ally. Am I an ally? I don't have any two ways to think about it. I do have gay friends, though. I do, you know, I've grown up in the theater scene and acting scene. And a lot of, you know, there were a lot of people that were very talented people that were gay that I'm still friends with to this day. I keep in contact with. That doesn't make me hateful, but I don't want to be fucking labeled as gay. Because it's like, why? I guess I'm a little bit more, you know, still old fashioned, but
Talk about their religion in a negative way.
Also, I think that they have kind of the right to be upset, right? To be kind of on for something that they can't change, right?
No. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to do. No, it doesn't have to do with can't
ahead.
change or can change. Like there are, for instance, you can change your nationality. It doesn't necessarily mean you should attack somebody over their nationality. You can change like the country you're living in or whatever. It's a.
Well, that's gonna how. That's like my view on it. It's like I don't think it's a good thing that you go around just being who you are and getting clapped on all the fucking time for it. I think
Sure, it can feel bad, but I mean, like insults are supposed to feel bad. But the question is like, what do you want to make somebody feel bad for, right? If it's a bad characteristic, so if you think somebody's generally bad because they're like a pussy or a tanky or a brokey or they're fat or whatever, those are all like bad characteristics. Then you say like, oh well. Yeah, you can make fun of people for these things. If you're making fun of somebody for being gay, the implication is you think that being gay is like a negative, bad characteristic, and that's why you're being bad for it.
Okay, so I don't think when you make fun of somebody, the thing you're making fun of them for is always going to be a gay or you call and I'm not going to be for.
He's just meat riding whoever's channel this is. I don't even know, but he's just meat riding. I don't really care what he has to say anymore.
Homosexuality, which can be practiced. No, make an answer this question. Compared homosexuality.
So yeah, I guess that's just my stance on this.
No, because you compared homosexuality to why? Wait. So wait, no, make an answer this question. No, hold on. Why is it then that homosexuality, which can be practiced between two consenting adults, why should that be a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. It's just not right.
Like, what does that even mean? It's not a bad thing. It's just not right. If something is not right, then it's wrong. And if something is wrong, it's bad. If you're doing something wrong, you're doing something bad. Here's the thing, too, is if he actually wants to make an argument here, he can make that argument. He can argue that it's bad to be gay or whatever. But I don't even think he knows what he believes. Like, he doesn't seem to know what the age of consent should be. He doesn't seem to know if being gay is good or bad. He has no idea. He is just, like, real-time malfunctioning.
There's no purpose that it's serving.
I don't agree with that. I think I get what you're saying about if it's not right, it's wrong, then it's bad. I think that, you know, if it's not right, there can be like this median. There can be like between bad and good, you know, which he was trying to equate right and wrong. But if you just look at bad and good, there could be a medium where you're not right or you're not wrong. It's kind of fucking at the same time. I don't know. But that's what I'm trying to talk about.
What are you doing that
The
for?
purpose it's serving is two people that love each other, might want to be in a relationship and build a household and do that together. That might be something they want to do.
It doesn't serve a greater purpose.
Every single thing in your life has to serve a greater purpose?
Exactly.
Okay, besides him being religious, what does he really do in his day-to-day life that is serving a greater purpose? It entertains your fine. Okay, I think it's fine.
I did see that shit with the Mikey Mussolini. I just want to jump into that real quick. I know that's a little old, but in age, Mikey's gonna do it to Sneako, yeah. But what I will say is, Mikey was reaching in that whole situation. He was reaching, bro. He was trying to play the victim card, bully victim card. That's all I'm gonna say about that. He was fucking reaching. What do you say? Jiu-jitsu is gay? Jiu-jitsu is not, I was about to say it. Jiu-jitsu is not gay. Jiu-jitsu is very effective. But I'm going to leave it at that.
Brain rot. They have no purpose whatsoever. There's no message. And that's fine. Okay, I think it's fine to watch memes because they're funny, whatever. It's a waste of time. Who cares? But Sneako thinks you shouldn't do anything that doesn't serve a greater purpose. And to me, that is just...
Amazon is overcharging you, but I can show you how to avoid it. Don't spend another dime on Amazon
know
until
why
you
that's
watch
actually
this
fair.
first.
Ridiculous.
Oh. It was a
Exactly.
question. It was a question. It was a question. You didn't answer it. It was a question. Yeah, he asked you a question.
Well, he said, yeah, I guess everything in
I
your
said,
life has to serve
I
a-
said everything has
He
to
answered the
fulfill a greater
question.
purpose.
They know more. They improve. I try to adapt,
comments.
add new parts on the machine that are a stronger machine. It's what I do. It's what I think people should try to do.
So your
But
morality could be different tomorrow than it is today?
absolutely, 100%. Because there are things that we don't know yet about the human
These are-
cognition, psych.
The chat, this chat, just like most of them, are just, they don't know shit. These are all kids, dude. These right here are just all kids that are just listening to what the last comment said. Just, it's a fucking ripple effect.
Psychology, just social behaviors. Something we just don't know some things, and we have to adapt to new information.
Also,
in order to
literally,
cause
Evan,
less
even
harm in
also
events.
even religions literally do this. Okay, like even religions update their standards for how they exist and how they are spread amongst their people and how their nations are ran over time. Like Islam's done this, Christianity's done this,
No,
Catholicism.
Islam has
everybody's-
not done that. That's not true. And Christianity has been adapted, but that's besides the point.
What do you mean Islam hasn't done this? You don't think that Islam
done
or
this.
Islamic states haven't changed the way, for instance, that they approach like dhimmi, like the way that they have like other religious groups that live in their countries?
What the
like
fuck did you say?
change the way, for instance, that they approach like dhimmi, like the way that they have like other religious groups that live in their or Islamic states haven't changed the way, for instance, that they approach like dhimmi, like the way that they have like other religious groups that live in their countries.
maybe
Like
I'm missing
there are
something.
tons of
You're changing morality to politics, and that's not
that's
what I'm talking
hold on.
about.
I'm sorry. Wait. Shut the fuck up. That's not politics at all. What do you mean? That of course that's morality.
You
There
said
should be.
Muslim states. You said Muslim countries. I'm talking about the book.
I'm
of the
sorry.
Alphabet.
What do you think Muslim state means that's not involved in religion? What do you think a caliphate is? Who do you think Muhammad was? What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, you're shifting the goalposts. This is not.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Wait. I just need to hear you say this. Do you think that politics?
Aren't there Muslim states that are in Muslim countries? Like, I don't know. I'm thinking, like in Afghanistan, and this is not, it's crazy to compare to, well, one really extreme and one less extreme organization, but that's what he's doing. So I'm just going to just show you what he's trying to talk about. Like, to prove him wrong in his own thing, there's a state, there's an Islamic state in Afghanistan that are kind of like chilling in the mountains and some shit. And just correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And there's the Taliban that are ruling, majority of the country. But there's still Islamic states in all these countries and stuff. Like in Syria too, in Yemen. Like in Syria and Yemen, Islamic states are at war with each other. So this guy Destiny's a fucking idiot.
And Islam are completely dissociated from one another. They don't have anything to do with each other.
Right. You saying that it's changing, that's sort of an example of politics changing the religion. That's not to the core. And that's besides the point.
How is that besides the point? I'm sorry, hold on. I need to hear you say this. Do you think that the political system, Islamic theocracy, you don't think that has anything to do with Islam, the religion? You think those are two totally separate things?
Genuinely, I don't really care about what you're saying about Islam.
I know,
right now.
because you
I'm
have no
talking to
idea. But
XQC
okay,
about
if
the
you don't
word.
have any
I'm
idea what the
talking
f- you're
the word.
talking about, why are you roasting him on not knowing where all of his morals come from? You don't even know about the own
not
fucking
roasting
religion that
him.
you grift on. Like,
I'm
Jesus, who
asking-
cares?
I'm asking questions to XQC. Okay?
You're not.
So
You're trying to
just-
grill him because he doesn't have an answer to the ultimate source of morality. And you don't even understand your own source of morality. It's a retarded conversation. You're just trying to like go for gotchas here so you can clip it up on your Rumble channel
No,
later.
So Sneako obviously doesn't really know why he believes what he believes and what he even believes to begin with, right? He's obviously a grifter.
So that I think Sneako needs to get I saw he did something with Muslim Lantern. He needs to get a little bit better at being able to debate these topics and counter. That's why he, at Speaker's Corner, you would have had the opportunity to really, you would have had the opportunity to really get good at debating and practice, but you didn't really want to, Sneako. But as in regards to this whole pedophilia stuff, because that's what this video is about. The Prophet married Aisha at 9, right? Peace be upon him.
And so his belief.
Like I said, I'm not Muslim. I was born Christian. But in the past 2 years, I've been looking into Islam, and I've seen a lot more good in it than I've seen bad by a wide margin. But as far as this, Prophet married Aisha at 9. And I have to read up on the Bible too. So if I'm wrong, just comment it and try to. But I've done a little digging in. There's accounts of Rebecca marrying Isaac in the Bible from ages 3 to either 13 or 14, something like that, right? Could be a little higher, but I know the minimum age was 3. Now, both of these, you got to remember, these are taking place thousands of years ago, right? The time was different, you know, like in Roman Empire, Ottoman Empire, these great empires, even in, I don't know, what is it, the Jing Dynasty in China, they would have boys fighting wars at age 5 and 6 years old. And it was regular for girls to get married at 6, 7 years old, 8 years old, whatever. I'm not saying that's right. I would, if that shit were happening today, I'd be, and it still does happen today in certain countries, and even in the United States, believe it or not. But if I was noticing that shit becoming common, I'd be disgusted. But that's for our time. Things were the lifespan of humans was, and I'm not defending this shit, please. The lifespan of humans was much less back in these times. The culture was different. Like I told you, were you okay with boys, 5 and 6 year old boys, 7-year-old boys going to war and dying in wars at these times? No, I wouldn't be okay with that either. So it kind of just goes and it kind of just, you could throw it together like that. XQC didn't really have much to say. He never really does. Destiny always has a lot to say. And he's always just speaking fast and just talking nonsense. But yeah. That's it for this one. Those are my takes on it. Like, the age of consent should be the age that you can get married in this country, which I think is 17 or 18. I don't believe in child marriages, like arranged child marriages. I don't think that should be a thing in America, because America couldn't handle it. You feel me? Now, this is a thing in certain Muslim countries, and I'm not talking about extreme countries. I like to specifically look at like Dubai and Saudi, where, in my opinion, their society is far superior to ours. But I'm gonna stop talking, bro, before I get myself in fucking trap. Yeah, but that's it for now, yo. I will holler at y'all later. And deuces. Let's do it.